At the Piedmont Triad Airport in Greensboro, an army of volunteers pack every square inch of this Douglas DC-8 with life-saving cargo, one of many hauls headed for the devastated island of Haiti.
We still are. Your grace extends to us. Thank you for your love and your mercy in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Samaritans Purse activated their team of disaster relief specialists, a convoy of help ready for takeoff with less than 24 hours notice.
All of this is going on now on top of the previous things of the damage still left over from 2010 and now this earthquake. It makes a very complex sort of humanitarian kind of crisis.
At ground, Samaritans Purse 8, ready to taxi.
Samaritans Purse 8, heavy, Greensboro, ground runway 5 right, taxi via Kilo Alpha, cross runway 14 and verify information Kilo.
Over the Atlantic Ocean, thousands of pounds of cargo rocketing towards the island nation, praying for recovery. In the small passenger cabin, contemplation fills the air as team members assemble plans to deploy shelter, medical supplies, but especially clean water systems.
We have 2 freshwater and saltwater machines that treat water. They've been in production for the past couple of years in development. Once we get them on the ground, we'll be sourcing a location where a community is really suffering without water.
Asher Bray knows that the biggest challenge in Haiti is distributing these supplies once the plane lands, breaking up the large pallets of cargo into manageable loads.
This large aircraft can accommodate 31 tons or more of cargo, and then we're putting it on aircraft, a smaller DC-3 and other smaller aircraft to get it to the smaller airports in Lakai and Jeremy.
From hundreds of feet in the air on final approach into the capital city, the poverty in Haiti becomes apparent. Roofless homes and piles of trash litter the street. On the ground, Haitian officials met the aircraft with all they had to offer these first responders: gratitude.
May God bless you. We are here to love you, to pray for you, and I'm sure in the kingdom of God you will receive all the presents that God reserved for you and His kingdom. May God bless you a lot.
Samaritans Purse says they still have teams on the ground in Haiti providing medical care to people who need it the most near Lakai. That's the epicenter of that 7.2 quake that struck almost 2 weeks ago. Nick Beckert is one of the team leaders on the ground there, and he told me over Zoom that the ever-growing need is medical care, and now they have doctors and a mobile hospital to provide that.
So not only did you have an increase in the amount of need with a lot of crush injuries on bones and also open wounds that needed care, but you had a limited amount of space where that could be done. So a few days after arriving on our first assessment team and our plastic sheeting for shelter that we knew was needed, we called up right away this facility. So it's our Tier 1 facility. It has an operating theater that can exactly handle those crush wounds, and they're orthopedic surgeons that are handling cases. We're doing 5 to 6 cases a day, really filling that key gap that's been left by the earthquake.
Samaritans Purse says they have crews on the ground still, and they have more supplies standing by to send if they're needed. Samaritans Purse is ready to deploy their DC-8 jet based in Greensboro at a moment's notice to provide help to the world whenever it's needed. I'm Hawker Vanguard. Back to you. Right now on the island of Haiti, more people are without homes, thousands are injured, and the death toll continues to creep upward. But just this afternoon, North Carolina-based mission Samaritans Purse landed with another load of cargo off of their DC-8 cargo jet that took off from Greensboro just this afternoon. On board, tons of supplies, medical supplies, shelter supplies, and clean drinking water that can be used by those on the ground helping rescue the folks of Lakai and those on the ground suffering. To complicate matters, Tropical Depression Grace passed over the island just yesterday evening, triggering landslides and mudslides, making those who fled to refugee camps flee once again. Now, of necessity, of the most need right now here on the island of Haiti are surgeons and medical professionals who can help those dealing with internal bleeding and massive wounds left from the crushing forces of buildings that fell on thousands. The supplies brought by Samaritans Purse here, that North Carolina-based missions organization, will be heading to Lakai and the epicenter, needed by thousands, as rescuers do their best to save lives and stabilize an already treacherous environment. In Port-au-Prince, I'm Hawker Vanguard, Fox 46. As Haiti struggles to keep up with tropical weather, the deadly earthquake, and civil unrest, people of this island nation are left to protect themselves with what they can find. The country still recovering from that earthquake 11 years ago.
We need help now. They don't have anywhere to sleep.
Charles, our handler and translator, introduced us to people in a neighborhood still homeless, left to sleep on the streets, selling goods for pennies just to survive, 11 years after they got through the Port-au-Prince quake of 2010.
Her husband is died in this earthquake, and now she's staying like that. She don't know what he have to do.
Mrs. Pierre, as she's known by her neighbors, lost her entire family and everything she worked for 11 years ago. Others have attempted to rebuild.
This is the storage where the people live. So what people need some help. He wants to live some other place because he lived there since 12 January 2010. It's not good.
Duriel lives in a shack, protected by a thin sheet of metal for a roof and a narrow piece of wood for a front door. More than a decade later, still waiting for hope and a lifeline in this devastated nation. On the streets of Port-au-Prince, Haiti, every day is a fight to survive.
So when the other countries send some help for the people, they don't find it.
The zeitgeist of a nation facing never-ending devastation, corruption, and poverty. The latest earthquake struck the West Peninsula near the city of Lakai, a 7.2 on the Richter scale that leveled buildings, killing and trapping thousands. And with a tropical storm tracking straight for the epicenter, the rescue operation had no time to wait. Like a convoy of angels descending out of the sky, Coast Guard helicopters brought victims from the disaster zone one after the other. Local ambulances lined up to speed the hordes of critical patients to a very limited number of hospital beds in the capital city.
I'm sending a message to everyone, so if you can help us with anything, it will be welcome.
After avoiding certain death, patients are now faced with a different hellscape, one of the least developed and prepared medical systems in the world. Few supplies, poor sanitation, and an overworked group of doctors and nurses.
We've been receiving patients with trauma, head trauma, and we also receive patients that have spine issue, and we also have patients that have pelvic fracture.
Emergent injuries with low rates of recovery or survival. Medical staff say they're constantly pushed to the breaking point.
All they do is scream or cry, and you don't know, you feel helpless, you don't know what to do for them.
Sissy? Uh-oh.
In the pediatric unit, the bright colors and pictures on the wall contrast the screams and cries of young children, some now orphans after losing their parents in the earthquake.
We don't have space to take like a lot of kids here. So when they come, if we can't do anything for them or we don't have the capacity to take them, we tend to send them to other hospitals.
A nightmare for any patient, child or adult. Treatment at the Bernard Mevs Medical Center is the best you can find in the whole country. And no matter where those thousands injured were treated, the hope is that superficial wounds will heal. But the people of Haiti have proven time and time again, no matter how powerful the disaster, their soul, the spirit of a devastated island, always comes out on top.
She's happy because her brother's still alive.
Here at the Bernard Mevs Medical Center in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, this is the only place offering any type of modern medicine as we see it. Working from containers of supplies just like this, we have some modern medical pieces, but not many. In this emergency medical department, we have patients and open beds waiting for more people coming from the stricken area of Lakai. People just coming to as they are recovering from being crushed by things like buildings and large pieces of vehicles and massive crush injuries. Many open beds here at this medical facility, 2 specifically in the emergency department, that won't be open for much longer as more patients continue to come in. The problem at this point is getting more people discharged, more people stepped down into less intensive care, and then transporting them home. An issue as there are no ways to get home, with many people no longer having one whatsoever. At the Bernard Mevs Medical Center in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, I'm Hawker Vanguard, back to you. The tedious recovery faced by thousands feels like a déjà vu. Picking through the rubble in the wake of another massive earthquake that brought Haiti to its knees once again. More than 10 years after a different earthquake leveled the capital city, Haitians are still holding on to one thing: hope. As the west coast of Haiti rebuilds, the people of Port-au-Prince can't help but think back to a time when they were the ones pulling each other out of the rubble, the endless waiting for some kind of help, and for many, it never arrived.
It can't, because there's no money, there's no work to do. This is what he meant. So let's come here to see some of the place where he slept.
Unconscionable poverty still has a hold on much of the country, with millions still living in Spartan conditions. A victim of the 2010 Port-au-Prince earthquake, Duriel says millions were left with nothing after humanitarian aid was sold for profit, and money meant for the victims was stolen. That corruption led to Duriel being forced to build a shack on the side of a road.
We need food all the time, we're hungry.
The World Food Program places Haiti as one of, if not the most food insecure countries on the planet. They say more than half of the population needs immediate assistance. Duriel says hunger is something he's learned to live with.
We need some place better than there. That's what we need. That's what we need. We want to do it for us.
At the Port-au-Prince airport, food is precious cargo, along with shelter and medical supplies for victims of the earthquake near Lakai. Most of it flown to the west part of the island by U.S. Coast Guard helicopter. World Central Kitchen understands the need and immediately deployed to nourish the nation.
Food is the soul of so many places in the world, so many people. So trying to provide food in times of crisis, bring a little comfort to people as they've just experienced something really intense.
Anna Bornstein knows too well that providing aid to a population in crisis isn't the challenge. It's making sure help actually makes it to the people in need.
We are, as you said, in the community immediately. We get food out to the people. We're working with local folks here to cook the food, source as much as we can locally to try and, reinvigorate the economy in that way and support the economy in that way.
With very little to give, even among themselves, Haiti hangs on for another round of reconstruction, a prayer for relief. that's only truly understood by one another. I'm Hawker Vanguard, Fox 46.